thousands of different types of mammals. We're going to start out with a few of my favorites. We have a bear, a dog, and another kind of dog. And each one of these animals is made with the exact same techniques. So let's get started. We're going to use some modeling tools. We have 3 different colors of oven bake clay, and especially we're going to be using this caramel or cognac color. And then we have a roller, a drinking straw, a coffee stirrer, some toothpicks, and let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is cover our work surface. I've taken some wax paper and then I've put it with some low-tack tape. You want to be really careful when you're working with clay that you're covering and protecting the surface so that if you're going to use food items later that you won't have had clay on them. So the first thing we want to do is to divide up our block. Blocks of clay, the way that you can decide what size animal and make things very uniform is by working with the dimensions on the clay block. So I've started with a clay block, I've cut that in half, which gives me 2 quarters, and then I've cut each quarter in half again, so this is 1/8 and 1/8. Then I have a pinch of black and a pinch of red. Now to start out, I'm going to take the quarter block of clay, and I need to condition that. And conditioning means to warm it in your hands and just roll it out. And the heat of your hands is going to make the clay nice and soft and pliable. I'm going to roll that, and then I'm going to roll it into a circle, fold it in on itself until it's nice and soft and easy to use. Now I'm going to take the round, I'm going to roll it into a circle, and then I'm going to form it into a teardrop shape. And that's going to be the body of my bear. So I've got that here, and I'll blend it out. Now, when you're playing at home, you're going to take as much time as you need to get the exact shape that you want, and I'm going to have it as a flat bottom here so that becomes his body. Now I've got another quarter piece of clay, and I'm going to divide that into 4 sections. The clay actually comes with 8 grooves in it, so it makes it easy to cut. So I'll take one of my clay tools, I'm going to cut this into 4, and now these 4 sections are going to become the legs. Now I'm going to condition each one. Now when you're working with clay, you start with the lightest color first, but in this case we're using only one color. So I'm going to condition each leg, and I'm going to again form those into kind of a cylinder shape, and then form them into a teardrop. Now I'm going to form those into 4, and I'm going to flatten that base. And as I said before, by using these measurements, then you'll get all your pieces the right shape. So I will do that until we get 4 pieces, and then I'm going to create the paw petals, or the paw and the tips on it. Now he's going to sit like this. I've taken a little piece of drinking straw, I'm going to flatten it a little bit, press it into the clay so I have a circle, then taking the coffee stirrer, I'm going to put 3 dots for each of it, for his paw. Now I've got his body, and I'm going to squish the one leg in the front, and I would continue obviously and put the paws on each one, put the 2 here, and then put the 2 arms onto the side. And I'm going to blend those in. Now I've got his body started. Now let's move on to his head. I have another 1/8 piece. I'm going to pinch a piece off, take this and condition it, which I've already done. So I've got his head. I'm again going to form it into a ball, and then lengthen it into kind of a teardrop shape again. I'm going to flatten this top and push his head down. You're going to take time to make it into the exact shape you need. Now while he's on there, I'm also going to poke his eyes in. And let's get that nose a little bit sharper. And I'm going to lift this up so we can see it. Let me get my toothpick. I'm going to turn him to the side so I can see him too. I'm going to draw in his mouth. And then I'll smooth that clay around. So I've got the base. Now that little pinch that I have left, I need to flatten that out. So I'm going to take my roller. A nice tip when you're rolling clay to get it all to a uniform width is to roll it in between cards, and then it'll be the right size. But I'm going to take this piece here, I'm going to go back to my straw, and I'm going to poke out the shapes. You can poke those out with a pin if you need. And I'm going to cut 2 to make each ear. And then I'm going to do another little bunch to make his tail. So there's 2. I'm going to curve those in my fingers, bend them a little and stick them onto the top. And then I do a second one, and then take that other little extra ball, and that's going to go in the back. Now the last step is to add any detail. Now my teddy bear needs just a little bit of shaping, so I'm going to work on his mouth a little bit more. And I'm also going to take a little teeny pinch of black and put it on for his nose. And that'll go right on the front. Now if we go to the finished one, we would take our bear, we would put him onto our tile, and then bake according to the manufacturer's instructions. And you'll end up with this cute little bear. Now if you take this bear, the dogs next to it are made with the exact same shapes, but would change the shape of the ears, maybe added detail on the eye, added a bone here, added a tongue. But the basic animal is always the same, with a teardrop body, a teardrop head, or rounding the head. It's just the easiest way is to work with those proportions and divide your clay from the beginning, and you can create a whole menagerie of animals.